every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Lall Show, only on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Complaining, I'm giving too much information on this 1 hour program. And I want to believe them, Bernard. I want to believe them. So tonight, I want to be much shorter and try to make it sweeter. I must listen to what the people say and respond properly. What do you say, Bernard?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Though there is so much to share, I will be shorter and try to be sweeter, while keeping things simple as usual. Please, I want all of you to make this into a song, a hymn, or a mantra to sing whenever these politicians come round y'all. Our pain is their gain. They're being paid while we are being played. How about that, Bernard? Can somebody make a song out of that?
I hope so.
Yeah. Our suffering, uncle and auntie, is their celebration. Our distress is their happiness. Bernard, if a man juke your left eye, damage it, and you say nothing, what do you think he will do with the right eye?
Do the same thing?
Yes, he will juke it too. That is the Exxon contract with Guyana. Trotman allow Exxon to juke with left eye 2 times and damage it completely with Lisa 1 and 2. Jagdeo know fully well we lose our left eye. Guyana loses left eye and still went ahead and allowed Exxon to juke with right eye 2 more times and damage that too with Lisa 3 and 4 projects he approved. Now, he's going to allow Exxon to break with left foot with Lisa 5. You hear that, Bernard?
Yes.
You don't have any more eyes. So Lisa 5 going to break one of your foot.
Yes.
And that will probably break your left foot.
And just 6 to the next one.
So now, you're totally blind with a 1 foot broke, or I should say going to be broken. You can't see, you can't walk, plus you're broke with no money in sight from Exxon to fix your eyes or the broke foot. How much more bad things can get in this land? Bernard? Let me tell you all, uncle and auntie, the 6th one will break the right foot, and the others to follow will break your hands and mouth, cut off your tongue. So all Guyanese will become invalids in this country, handicapped.
Say nothing or do nothing.
Can't say nothing for their right. Oh boy, when your tongue cut out, you can't say nothing to defend yourselves. That is where the leaders taking us. How much more of this you guys will take, brothers and sisters? Y'all waiting for them. Send you to the cemetery with no one to dig a grave for you, or you will wake up. Which one? Our destiny lies in our own hands. Your future is in our own country, uncle. Yes, your destiny is in your own hands. Your future is in this country called Guyana. You don't have to run anywhere. The greenest of pastures that you could think of is right here in Guyana. One that is better than what is in America or in the European countries. The world is not running here because we are poor. The British, the Americans, the French, the Chinese, Arabs, Indians, Australians are all coming here because of our riches. Your riches. Why are you people still silent? Why? Why are you allowing these leaders, not Jagdev alone, all of them, to let Exxon and the other oil companies do this thing to us? Please, I am begging all of you, do something, say something. Time is not on our side. You remember the saying, Bernard? Too late shall be the cry. While you are being played, they are being paid. Why is it that your pains must become their gains? Huh? And with that, let me say another namaste. May the peace, may the divinity in me, love, joy, and happiness within my soul I extend to all of you. Like I said, I don't plan to go on too long tonight. People telling me to slow down. The information too much one time. So tonight, I just want to zoom in on just one thing. The new agreements for the oil sector and why they don't apply to Exxon with the Stabroek block. Look at what they sign away already, uncle. Sign away. Getting zero royalty, no ring fencing, no taxes. Vice President Jagdev's own words, not mine. Yet he's approving more and more projects with those same terms and conditions. Yeah, man. While they're being paid, me and you are being played. Our pain is their gain. Our tears are their cheers. Our fears are their joys. Before the PPP get back into office, they were so vocal on what they will do with that contract, how they will renegotiate all the contracts. Today, when you remind them about that, they react as if they are about to... Man, Bernard, these people react as if you're about to murder their parents in front of their eyes. Or their children. When enough in this land for some of these leaders. Huh? And how much more you guys intend to take silently? I don't know, Bernard. I really don't know. If your own brother or your parents did a quarter of what these leaders are doing to y'all, none of you would ever talk to them, ever want to deal with them. So why are you still encouraging these politicians to sell out your dreams? Did you stain your fingers for this type of leadership, Bernard? You vote? Did you vote, Bernard? You stain your fingers for this type of leadership in this land? I don't think so. So guys, we got to get out into the streets and show them how all of us are very, very uncomfortable, uneasy, and unhappy. Let's show them that we are pissed off. We can't take it anymore. And that the fifth oil project must not be approved. It must not be approved until all of us get our rightful share, so that we can fix our broken body parts and at the same time give us a good life, so that our brothers and sisters don't have to run in search of a better life in a basement in America, Canada, and Europe, or a house they would die and never finish paying off for in America. When you hear they tell you they own house and so in America, at 50 years they have to pay for it. And you don't want to know the struggle they're going through to meet the payments at the end of the month. I know thousands of them. All of you fighting, killing yourself to run out Guyana. Yes, to run out of Guyana in search of a better life in the white man's country. Not realizing heaven is right here in Guyana for every one of us. We fight so much. We pray so much for our kids to be in the white man country, sending them there to eke out a better life, not knowing the life they have there is only possible because of our gold, our bauxite, our timber, manganese, and now our oil. You hear me, Bernard?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Our wealth from Guyana, giving them that life. This is your life. They're stealing, uncle and auntie. This is what I want you people to understand. These people just come here to exploit our wealth, to build a better country for themselves, with a better life for their people, with your money. With your money. And that is what you are lining up in front all of the embassies for. A visa. To get a better life there with the wealth from Guyana. Yes. Get a better life there from the wealth of Guyana. So your family can send back a few change for you to make do with. You hear me, Bernard?
Mm-hmm.
For y'all make do with. Stand up for your rights. Please. Your future and your inheritance. A saying, if your own brother rob you of what your parents left for you, you're just ready to fight him down, run to the courts. So why not stand up and fight for what God bless us with, brother? Why? Keep your children right here and let's demand our rightful share, so that we can all live a better life right here, uncle.
In your own country, yeah?
Right here in Guyana, auntie. Rather than fighting up for go and live and work in that coal. Our country can become a lender rather than a borrower. We could have already bailed ourselves out from that $3 billion debt we got since Janam Jog and can't pay. We could have fixed our Caribbean neighbors, and we could have even helped Sri Lanka And some of them African countries with small loans, with a little fine interest on it. Instead, last year, from the IDB alone, we borrow more than 300 million for eat and buy medicine in this country. Are you for real in this land? You guys are so much in the dark as to what is happening that you clap your hands, jump up for joy, praising the white man country for helping you with a meal to eat and a piece of clothes to wear with your own money. But how do I repeat that thing, man?
Yep.
We jump up and a clap we hand, brother, and a smile with the white country.
Yep.
When they get a little $100 for eat and buy clothes for wear with your own money in Guyana. I sometimes ask myself if I am still a Guyanese. The United Kingdom, England, Canada, China, India, Australia, Russia, and America, all of them grabbing up Guyana's wealth by the billions of American dollars to develop their country, their people, while you sit in your rocking chair waiting on the ravelings or the dribblings to come back from your children overseas to buy your little medication and couple dry tennis roll, Bernard. How can this ever be in our country, brother? Father above, Creator, I don't know how to wake up these corrupt leaders, the people elected. I really don't know. I need help. Uncle, look at how the Africans and the Asians are dying by the boatloads every day, trying to get to Europe in search of a better life, not knowing that their own leaders were the ones that sold them out, and still to this day selling out their livelihoods and their future in their own country to these foreigners and foreign countries. Just like what's happening here, brother. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. The exact thing Africa, Asia, and third world countries did, the leaders did to those countries, is the exact thing beginning to happen right here, Uncle and Auntie, with our oil and our gold and all these rich minerals we have. You know what price for gold now today? $400,000 for 1 ounce gold. They're fetching it out by the ton. Monday I want to talk about that. They're fetching it out by the tons. And we starving in this land. I beg and for borrow. You're not begging. You're begging to borrow with a fat interest rate to buy medication at the hospital. Gosh, man. But sometimes you get a headache when you think about these things, you know.
Yep.
You got people running and dying by the boatloads, Bernard, out of Africa and Asia and the Middle East.
Yep.
Literally dying, uncle, to get to Europe and America, just to get a taste of a piece of their own thing they lost. A piece of their own thing that they lost. I feel sad for all these third world countries with their incompetent and in most cases corrupt leaders, thieving leaders. leaders who cannot be trusted, with a clothes of a shirt you hang on your line. This is how deadly third world leaders are. God, please help. Please help us. Please. I love Cherry Jagan and Forbes Burnham. Had those two gentlemen been alive today, this insanity that's taking place in this country would have never, ever, ever happened with our resources. They would have never agreed to this upside down, measly contract that these clowns tie us into, and then turn around and hiding the business expenses from all of us. What Cherry and Burnham had fought for, guys, is nothing close to what these silent, incompetent and corrupt bastards parading themselves as honest and decent, caring leaders doing to this land. Yes, doing to this land, uncle, with those predators and parasites we have for foreigners in our country, in our back dam with our gold, and now in the Atlantic Ocean with our isle. They would have never, never ever allowed this to happen. These guys are traitorers, prostituting themselves and enslaving us at the same time. Uncle, always remember, God said He helped those who help themselves. Don't get up and get up. Don't get up and get out into the streets all across Guyana and demand what God has blessed you with. I don't know. I really don't know. I just try my best to help you people understand. I can't fetch you into the streets. I can only educate and encourage you people. If you can't get out into the streets to protest what belongs to you, to protect and defend what belongs to you, to preserve what belongs to you, to get what is rightfully yours, I don't know. Prepare to line up at the embassies for visa. And if you can't get, I try send your children backtrack to hustle a few pennies. What I'm going to say next, before I close, is for the rum shops, the minibuses, market vendors, and the limers in the corner roads. Listen to me carefully. 15 families in a village, and they all buy milk every morning from the milkman. One of them don't pay the milkman though. The 14 others, they got to toe the line and pay them and pay for them milk. But not one family. Somebody, let me ask this, somebody in that family got to have a special relationship with a milkman. What you say, Auntie? What going on there? If 14 a pay and one not pay, it's a special relationship, not true? And when the milkman is confronted by his own family, why that one family not paying? He playing dumb. And when he's pressed further by his family, he tell his wife and his children he can't touch that one. That one is special. Uncle and Auntie, that is what Jagdeo and the rest of the leaders is doing with our oil blocks. Hear me carefully. The 14 oil blocks, or I should say the 14 new oil blocks have to toe the line. But the most beautiful one, with the sweetest, lightest crude oil, he's not touching. When you raise that block, when you raise that block, the Stabroek block, you hear a blunt no from Jagdeo and Norton. Why? Why? Oh, the law may be blind, but not the Guyanese people, guys. Not the Guyanese people. We are not blind as yet. I want Jagdeo, Norton, Ramjatan, and President Ali to keep that in their brains. Elections coming. Local government election coming. Uncle, these guys know all the right things, but not doing it with Exxon and that Stabroek block. Why? Jagdeo wants this and he wants that out of the 14 new oil blocks. But when it comes to Stabroek block with Exxon, that one can't change. No matter. Oh gosh, he's not, this man doesn't even want to touch that one. A matter of fact, he's going to increase the daily milk supply with the 5th project. You hear me, Bernard? He's not touching that one, but he's going to increase the daily milk supply to Exxon with the 5th project, fattening Exxon and their shareholders more, while shortening our milk. Our future, our lives. Why? Why, Mr. Jagdeo? What did they do to you? Or what did they promise you? Just asking. And the opposition silent too. Why? He demanding full protection from the 14, but not with Exxon. Why? What tying his hands, Bernard?
That's the billion-dollar question.
He's changing the arrangements for the billions set to come out on the cleanup cost for these 14 new oil blocks, but not Exxon. Why? Why? What is holding him back from doing it with Exxon? He is demanding an increase of more profits and royalties from these 14 oil blocks, but not with Exxon in the Stabroek block. Why, Bernard? You demanding more profits and royalties from the 14 small oil blocks, but the biggest one will hold a chunk of 3/4 of Guyana's oil.
90%.
Or 90%. The man ain't touching that one. Why? Why this bright man, this intellectual, this economist, and this ex-president that run this country for 12 years, now the vice president in charge of this oil sector in Guyana, doing this to us, uncle? Tell me. Tell me. He is now demanding taxes from the 14, but not a cent from Exxon with the Stabroek block. Why? Somebody help me. My phone, I'll take a phone call just now from you. Help me to understand this thing. Why is he hustling to get a few pennies with these small oil blocks and not getting the dollar, the US dollar, from the Exxon block, the one that has almost everything inside? I don't know. I just don't know. Some of you will have to call me and try to get me to understand what's happening. He also says he will ensure that the development plans and the budgets, for these 14 new oil blocks will be vigorously checked and scrutinized before approval is granted. How come that same vigorous criteria is not applied to every one of Exxon's projects in the Stabroek block, uncle? How come? What is so sacred about the Stabroek block? Can Jagdeo explain that to us? Can President Ali tell us something? Can Norton and Ramjatan open their mouths? Can they all tell the Guyanese people? Oh, something. And can Jagdeo tell us why he hired a company out of England for the third time to check Exxon's plans and budgets and shortening the people's time to do a proper job? Why? Why doesn't he want a full and detailed check on Exxon's billion-dollar projects, uncle? Why? You guys got to call me and tell me something, because I am kind of confused. And after the people, Bernard, after the people finish checking the plans and the budgets and submit the reports to him, he is now hiding that from all of us. How you like that? How you like that? You're putting in place to scrutinize, verify and check all the development plans and the budgets for the 14 new oil blocks. But this one, you're doing it, you're shortening the people's time to do a proper job. When the people submit their report or their findings, you're hiding it from the Guyanese people. Why? Why is he doing all this to us, uncle and auntie? Those plans and budgets, uncle, is in the billions of American dollars. Ask yourself, before you go to bed tonight, why Bharat Jagdeo doesn't want us to see where and how much we are being shafted. Why? He went on to say there is no need to ring fence those 14 new oil blocks because they're too small. But the biggest one, stretching from Suriname border to the Venezuelan border, with 6.6 million acres, Exxon Stabroek block, he is not ring fencing. He is not ring fencing any projects in that block. Why? Why? Uncle and auntie, let me, for the umpteen times, simplify this thing again. Ring fencing. Ring fencing does avoid your business partner from bringing expenses from all over the place and throw it at you to shorten your profit. It's like you got 2 mango trees. Each mango tree must pay for itself without any other expense from other mango tree coming into that, so that you can get your equal share of profit from everyone. Thank you. Thank you. You got to give me a moment to sip this tea. Oh, my throat is getting so dry these days. Having to talk, to get out this thing so simple for you people to understand. Oh, thank you, Miss Mortley. Yes, each mango tree must pay. Each mango tree, only the expenses for the mango tree must come out. Nothing mustn't come from anywhere and throw in there. If it throw in there, your profits will reduce. That is what ring fence is all about. Lisa 1 money can't pay for Lisa 2 expense, man. That's ring fencing in a nutshell. Like I said, each mango tree in each yard must pay for themselves, so that you can collect your proper profit from each mango tree. Wow. Oh. Oh, buddy. Oh, Bernard. I don't know. We should take the calls. Uncle, that ring fencing is a big thing. It's big, very huge. No other mango tree expense must throw into that one. None. Especially that you don't know of. So that is what ring fencing means, Uncle. Y'all should be talking about this thing every hour of the day. You just put a fence around your house for protect your house. That's what ring fencing is about. That's how important it is. You can lose all the mango trees in all the yards. You can lose all the mango. Yes, in all the yards, and end up sucking the seeds. And a dry one too. That is how important ring fencing is, Uncle. It is the most important thing in the oil sector, other than insurance protection, man, Bernard. So I want this thing sink into people's head. If you can't protect your house, from a fire, and you can't protect the mango tree money, then what is there to live for, man? Bernard, what is there to live for? Insurance and ring fencing. If you can't protect the house from a fire and you can't protect your money, then what business you have? Huh? Without them 2 things, Uncle, you're doing business, not business. And that is what Jack Dale and all the politicians doing to us with ExxonMobil and that Stabroek block. By not ring fencing those projects. Lisa 1, 2, 3, and 4 gone. Now 5 and 6 is on the horizon. I don't wake up quickly. Cat plus dog on yama dinner. Yes. Exxon, their shareholders, and a few politicians will yam it too. Uncle, had Trotman ring fence Lisa 1 and 2, by now every household could have been getting $1 million a month. Every household. Because we already paid off the expenses for Lisa 1 and almost done pay off for Lisa 2. So we should have already been getting half of every barrel instead of half of a quarter barrel we getting presently. Yes. You remember? The mantra you gotta make? They are being paid while you're being played. Your pains is their gains. Let me say this. If Lall and his team at the Kaieteur News, it's not good to boast about yourselves, but sometimes it's good. If Lall and the Kaieteur News team wasn't banging this issue every day and every night, those changes Jagdeo now boasting about on the 14 new oil blocks would have never come about. So you guys owe me and my staff a drink. I only take vodka and coconut water. But don't tell my doctor if you do buy me one. I don't know about the staff, what they want. You guys can ask them. Oh boy. When you see the politicians, especially Jagdeo, start asking for what y'all want out of this oil, out of this gold, timber, bauxite, etc. Start asking them, uncle. That is your bona fide transported properties that God Almighty, yes, our Creator blessed us all with. Start cornering and confronting them wherever and whenever I see them. Please, talk to them. Shout at them. They are your servants. Man, are you hear me every Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday? Are you not hear how me to talk? How I address them? Address them the same way. They are not my bosses. They are my servants. They were elected to serve. Stop treating them, looking up to them, talking to them as if they are your boss. Look them in the eyes and say, what the heck you doing to me, man? Huh? Have you got enough information? 2.5 years now, man. Have you got enough information to shine in their face? Ask them, what are you guys doing to us with our God-given wealth? Let me say this, guys. The little house you got, you get transport for it. This is what I'm talking about. You don't have the things I'm talking about, our gold, our diamond, our bauxite. You don't have to get transport for. You're born owning it. It's your birthright, people. Please stick that in your memory. Go to bed and walk with that in your minds, your bodies and your souls. You don't need power of attorney for that, uncle. You give Jagdeo, Nathan and Ramjatan them power of attorney to manage it for you, so that you can live a good life out of it. Bernard, let me repeat this thing, brother. You can make Guyana the best. You can make Guyana into a lending institution larger than anyone in the Caribbean. You didn't give them the power of attorney for them to give it away so that them and their family alone can benefit. No, no, no. Wake up, guys. The people of rich France has an ongoing protest months now, disrupting that country. Yesterday was the worst day. The citizens are out in the streets by the hundreds of thousands. The buses, the trains, all the transportation services were forced to close, shut down shop yesterday. All for what? All for what, uncle? The French government wants to move the old age pension by 2 years from 60 to 62. And the people wasn't going to allow that. They want their pension at 60, not 62. They spent all the time, those people spend all the time working and prepare to receive their pension at 60. So that ignited the protests. It's madness in the streets in Paris right now. 2 years extension and the whole of France was in turmoil months now. Here in Guyana, 7 years now, with 2 governments, we discover oil that can make every citizen, every man, woman, and child into millionaires. We allowing both governments to sell out our livelihoods with all our children and grandchildren's future. And every jackman silent. Huh? 4 countries in Africa that full of riches, gold, diamond, oil, and so on, all went on a countrywide protest Monday gone. I talk about it. And completely shut down those 4 countries. They were fed up. Yes, they were fed up with all the wealth the country has. And they have to live in blackouts, no proper water, can't find food, with widespread corruption from top to bottom. Things are changing. The tide is turning. It is time for it to turn in Guyana in our favor. Not just for the politicians, but for all of us. And we have to make that tide turn in favor of us, uncle. It's only your foot and your mouth can make that possible. All over the world is protest after protest. In Pakistan, in Lebanon, in Israel, in the US, in Canada, man, name it. These people taking to the streets for a better life. Guyana is now the talk of the world where wealth is concerned. But we Guyanese, we still sleeping in blackouts. We drinking stinking water and starving. While silently, all of you watching the blatant corruption and sellout going on. Yes, you're watching all these things going on. With these gold contracts, these bauxite contracts, these oil projects, and all jackman in this land silent. No, man. No, don't do that to yourselves. We are people, not animals, that you tie on a tree. No, we are people. We can see and we can think. So why we can't? Why we can't stand up for ourselves and put a stop to what's going on, uncle and auntie? Why? Look what you getting as pension. Some of you getting a pension. How much? $33,000. Look what the public servants getting. Our teachers, we police, we soldiers. Them nurses were saved by you during the COVID. Look what them getting. Look at the prices for Bora and okra today. I don't go in the market, but a Zax. They just tell me. 4 or 5 Bora for $1,000. Look at the cost of living, where it's going. What are you guys doing, man? You waiting for 2025? 2025, you may not be able to walk by then. No, you can't survive by 2025. Man, even if you're there in bed with your party and you're okay with what's going on, you're not thinking about your children and grandchildren? Huh? It's so much you love the red, the green, and the gold parties more than your own children and grandchildren, uncle and auntie? It's so much you all like poverty? It's so much you all in love with these corrupt politicians? No, man. No. No, uncle. Let's do what millions of people doing right now around the world. They're standing up and speaking out against the atrocities being meted out to them by their corrupt leaders. We can do that, man. We can do that. They got some man named Andy Ramnarine from Essequibo. They say he's some chairman, NDC chairman. I am told he's threatening to knock off some Weeder men because they went and listened to Glenn Lall when I've been there on the Essequibo coast a few weeks ago. I have a message for you, Ramnarine, and all who think like you. All that think like you, who want to deprive your fellow brothers and sisters of their constitutional right to access and receive information, is a crime. You're breaking the law, helping these criminals that's raping this land. And anytime you knock off any one of them, poor men, pray. Pray that the PPP and the PNC stay in power for the rest of your life so that they can keep you protecting. Yes, they can keep you in protection with your unrighteousness and illegal actions against your own people. God, Ramnarine, God has a way, Bernard, to stop people like you, to put an end to your wicked ways. You know, when you see people punishing, Bernard, we wonder why. And I say no more on that. Ramnarine. That's Jagdev's mentality and attitude. You see? You see when you have evil and wicked leaders, what happens? It infiltrates down the road. It can't happen anymore, Ramnarine. By I will call you name morning, noon and night on this radio. Morning, noon and night on this radio. Knock off them poor people. My number is 624-6456, Ramnarine. You can call me or send me your number. If you don't have credit, let me call you back. Oh. Let me tell you some of the experiences I witness in life with politicians. You know, I have seen them walking the road, kicking bricks. I have seen their children end up suffering because of parents. Yes, the parents' evil actions. Just a note. Oh boy, oh. When you hear these things, it aggravates you, you know.
Definitely.
Last night, I was watching the news, and what I saw reminded me right away about a similar story in Guyana involving Bharat Jagdeo and a foreign journalist posing as a businessman. Auntie, I am talking about that Sue affair, in which Jagdeo was accused of being involved in skullduggery with the nation's resources. When that news item was broadcast internationally, anyone looking at that interview could have seen Bharat Jagdeo was not himself. He was most uncomfortable. He was stunned. He was stuttering and even fumbling for words to respond when he was asked about a Mr. Sue. Wow, I wish you guys could have, I have that tape, I could have played it for you guys to listen. The reporter accused Jagdeo of using Mr. Sue as the middleman so that nobody can accuse he of any wrongdoing directly. The middleman, like the milkman. Aye. He promised to sue Mr. Sue as soon as he finds Sue. He can't find Sue until now, and Sue living at the Marriott Hotel presently. What a Guyana. Uncle, the story I saw on the TV last night resembled Jagdeo's fiasco with Sue. Man, it's the exact thing a journalist did to a diplomat in Zimbabwe. That tie up the president of Zimbabwe, the head of the gold board there, and the president's niece. In a nutshell, the diplomatic advisor and the president's niece were caught red-handed on camera during a sting operation in which the president was also implicated in an international money laundering scheme. Yes, implicated in an international money laundering scheme involving hundreds of millions of smuggled gold. They were using the diplomatic privileges together with the blessings of the state to carry on with this illegal, dirty business. I went to Zimbabwe a few months ago. It's unbelievable the level of poverty there. I checked in the hotel, Bernard. You know, something looking like the Pegasus Hotel. When I was escorted to the room by the manager, I had to ask him, isn't there any better hotel than this around, guy? He said, no, sir. This is the best in Zimbabwe. All the presidents, prime ministers, and other visiting dignitaries only stay here. Uncle, auntie, the carpet in the hotel looked like that never changed since the hotel bill, maybe 100 years ago. And don't even ask about the smell. Wow. A hotel, a proper hotel. The president and them diplomats can't even put together for the country. Such a rich country is a tourist destination too. Can't put together for country. But dangling with hundreds of millions of US dollars that should have been going to better the lives of the people and build up that country. When the Zimbabwean president was contacted by the news agency for a comment, he didn't wait to stutter like Jagdeo. He bluntly said, no comment. No comment. That news item I saw, I told my staff to put it in the newspapers today. It's on the front page, Kaieteur News. So that all Guyana can see it. So that they can understand that these kinds of thievery and wholesale sellouts can only happen with the help of corrupt leaders. I'm going to take your calls in 1 second. Let me tell you. Bharat Jagdeo called a special press conference yesterday to talk about local government elections. The man even advertised on social media the day before with his photograph, displaying big to join him live on Facebook for that press conference. He's looking for more votes. He wants y'all to re-elect them again in the local government elections. That press conference lasted 1 3/4 hours. The biggest thing today, yeah man, the biggest issue the world has today, and the world is holding press conferences and quarterly feedbacks, holding forums to speak to their shareholders worldwide every 3 months. Our oil, our gold, them talking about holding press conferences. Bharat Jagdeo has never called a special press conference, much less to advertise it, to tell you about that. I sent my reporters and instructed one of them to ask him, seeing that he's dealing with a party and local government, what is the party's position on the ExxonMobil contract? He tell the young reporter he's not dealing with that here. He will have a press conference next week. You hear it? He will have a press conference next week. Yes. He will talk 2 hours on the PNC, and when it's time for question on the oil or gold, he can say he have a busy day ahead, like what he did the last time. Y'all going to stay on your fingers for these bright. Yes, go out and stay on your finger for them, man. These bright, honest, decent, and caring people again. Yeah, man, go out. The PNC and the AFC, them two never held a press conference, or a special press conference, I should say, to talk about our oil.
Are you waiting on Harvard to give you one?
Oh, don't worry, Harman. Oh, God, don't even want to talk about Harman, man. Whenever they do mention it in between, whenever they hold a little press conference, there is be responding to 1 and 2 small articles that the Kaieteur News exposed. To show you, they're saying something about the oil. Yeah, local government election coming. Yeah, I'll run out and vote for them too. With that, I say God bless you all. I think I was short tonight, right? Thank you. Kevin, open the phone lines.
All right.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.9.